Welcome to Retirement Mentorship. I'm your host, Freeman Lindy, Certified Financial Planner. I have a new book coming out this year. It's called 3D Financial Planning, How to Organize, Prioritize, and Maximize Your Money and Your Life. It's going to focus on a younger audience and cover a wide range of topics, including beginning with the end in mind, and it's going to help people to provide inspiration and behavioral education and encouragement so that people can transform their lives and their money. So, one of the most common phrases that I often hear from my clients in their 50s, 60s, and 70s is some variation of, I wish I had known this earlier. I wish someone had told me about this 30 years ago. And I focus on folks over 50, right? This is Retire Mentorship. It's about mentoring people to and through retirement. And so with my financial planning firm and my podcast and my book, and all those are geared towards that audience. Because those in their 60s face different problems than those in their 30s. But what about those in their 30s? What about your children or maybe your grandchildren early in early adulthood? How do we tell them what we wish we had known when we were their age? We created XY Financial Planning, which is a financial planning firm, to help millennial and Gen X clients one-on-one. And while I can't work with your kids, they can. But we still need some way to kind of convey these principles and these topics to people on a larger scale so that more people can get our philosophy and the way that we do things. How do we teach that to the next generation? Many of my retired clients have given copies of my book, 3D Retirement Income, to their kids and to read. And while, right, a lot of those principles are applicable to anyone, it's also chock full of things that are directly related to retirement and to retirees, and it's just not that applicable. And so they need to kind of weed through that and find the things that apply to them and just kind of ignore the things that don't. Well, this new book, 3D Financial Planning, will focus specifically on millennial and Gen X audience who are getting serious about their money. And as with my first book, right, some of those things will apply to older readers and who are in retirement and younger readers, especially those who are abnormally mature and exceptional about their finances and driven to get things done. But it really will be coming at it from a midlife perspective. It's almost the prequel then to my 3D Retirement Income. And so really, it's going to focus a lot more on the wider financial planning principles. Right? My first book was directly on 3D retirement income and the important challenges that retirees face on that subject. And it really only scratched the surface of financial planning in general. And so 3D financial planning then will focus on the larger, wider range of topics, right? Including investment planning with a focus on accumulation towards retirement, towards other goals instead of having that retirement focus. It'll focus on tax planning, right? Saving taxes over your entire lifetime, not just each year. It'll focus on cash flow planning and with a kind of a nuanced approach to budgeting and debt that you're not really going to hear from the gurus or from a lot of other people. Insurance planning, those you need and those to avoid. Again, from someone who doesn't sell insurance, I think that's a useful perspective to have. And then retirement planning, which again, focusing on saving for retirement, not living in retirement. So it'll have a different focus, a different audience than my first book. And if you read my first book, it will contain some of that same information, right? Some of those concepts are true at all ages, like being a loner instead of being an owner instead of a loner, avoiding the 4 horsemen, practicing the 7 pillars, right? Some of those things are applicable to anyone, but there'll also be lots of new content around those and other topics. And one of the things that we always want to do, right, is we want to begin with the end in mind. So I have a unique perspective for writing this book. I'm part of the Gen Y, the millennial generation, and I'm currently living out the busyness and the highs and lows of having a young family and a career and all of that. But so I am really my audience. But I mostly work with baby boomers, and having seen those who have lived their life well and have managed their money well, and those who have not. And so this perspective on both sides has led me to a specific position that I'm going to advocate for in this book. And that is to get the most life out of your money, not the most money out of your life. And so there are 2 outcomes that I'm going to try to help readers or listeners of this book avoid. Number 1, having too little in retirement, and number 2, having too much in retirement. The first is obvious, right? If you don't have enough money in retirement, there's a lot of financial stress and poor outcomes that goes with that. And a lot of these principles, right? The I wish I'd known this 30 years ago principles will help solve a lot of those problems. But the second is less obvious. And I've just seen far too many people make huge sacrifices in the name of gaining more money. Money that they will never learn how to enjoy. And it seems like most other financial books and gurus and philosophies are all around save as much as you can and build as much money and build as much wealth as you can, wealth from a purely financial perspective. But I'm going to advocate for a different philosophy. Maximizing your money across your life, not at the end of it. And so, I'm not writing a textbook. I'm not going to be attempting to scientifically or mathematically defend a thesis to a board of doctors. This book is for regular people who want to have their money work hard for them in the same way they have worked hard for it. And this book seeks to educate and inspire its readers and listeners to act on what they've heard and be encouraged in what they do. It's behavioral, not theoretical. It's actionable, not conjectural. So, you can pre-order 3D Financial Planning right now. It will be, of course, available to purchase on Amazon, but we will give away, as with my other book, a free copy to anyone who wants it. So you can go to 3dfinplan.com, or click the link in the show notes of this episode and to go and pre-order it for free. Again, there's no payment information will be collected. It's 100% free, and we will send you a copy of your choice to the email or address that you provide when it is released. And if you are one of my people, right, someone over 50 whom this podcast is aimed at, then perhaps you have a child or a coworker who this would be helpful for. And so please share this episode with them or send them a link to 3dfinplan.com, and we'll have this whole episode in that webpage as well, so they can learn what it's about and why they might be interested in getting it. The book will be released sometime this summer. I don't have an exact date on it yet. My priority is always to my current clients, financial planning clients, but the more interest and pre-orders we have for the book, the more resources we can put into getting it done sooner rather than later. So again, it's 100% free, so don't hesitate. Go to 3dfinplan.com or click the link in the show notes and pre-order the hardcover, paperback, ebook, or audiobook, and we will send it to you when it's ready. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Cheers. If you enjoyed that, you would love being part of our free membership community. It's called Retire Membership, and it has a host of benefits, all for free. For example, you can always buy my book, 3D Retirement Income, on Amazon. But if you join us at Retire Membership, we will send you either a hard copy or paperback for free, provide the ebook and the audiobook so that you can listen to it if you don't have time to read it. In addition to that, we'll also provide you with a bunch of content that you can't get anywhere else. For example, we have our quarterly Retire Mentorship magazine, which comes out quarterly and has no ads whatsoever. It's just timely content to help you stay the course. We also have workbooks for our free online workshop to help you get the most out of those, flowcharts to help you make better decisions, and a weekly email to provide timely content that you can unsubscribe from at any time. We never ask for any payment information, and we never share your information with anyone else. We just want to provide timely content and help you stay the course to retire successfully and stay successfully retired. There's no reason to wait, so join us now at retiremembership.com, where you can click in the link in the description and it'll go right there. We can't wait to see you in the community. Cheers. This podcast is educational only and is not investment, tax, or legal advice.